So today we have two lives. The first was lunch and cookies. The second was dinner and gratin dauphinoise.
Hello everyone,
Enjoy.
it's Rebecca here. Welcome along. It's a morning live. What's going on? Two things. Needed to fill the cookie jar, so I thought, why not? And also, I need lunch, and I thought I'm going to make some soup. Why not bring you on to join me while I make soup for lunch? So, tell me, everyone tell me, if you were to order or have a favourite soup, what's your favourite soup? Let me know what your favourite soup is. And what I've got to start today with is, for my cookie recipe, I need self-raising flour, and I don't have enough. Did you know on Cookie Doo is the recipe for self-raising flour? Basically, plain flour, baking powder, and salt. That's all it is. So you can make it yourself. Pumpkin with chickpeas and coconut milk. Now, Kira, that is fancy. That's very fancy. I love it. French onion. Dana, hey, pumpkin. I love French onion too. And I tell you, my dad's wife makes the best French onion soup you've ever had. It's so delicious. All right, now, I wonder if this is a scalable recipe, actually. Let's have a look. It is! We want 240 grams. Let's apply that. So, with your TM6 on your screen, always check where it has serving size. If that box is highlighted, you can up the recipe, you can lessen the recipe, you can make it your own. It's really cool. Pumpkin and ginger sounds nice too. I also love, and it's quite controversial because there's not a lot of people out there that love coriander, but I love a carrot and coriander soup. Honestly, it is delicious. It's one I haven't made for ages, actually. I must put it on the list because I did pick up some really great big bunch of coriander the other day. So maybe a carrot and coriander soup might be on another day. But I love it. All right, 2 1/4 teaspoons of baking powder. So, I'm terrible. I don't actually have teaspoon measures, but it'll work out. So, let's go with 1, 2 1/4. That looks about right to me. And then we want 2 pinches of salt. So we'll just get 1 great big pinch of salt. How about that? Now, let's put that there. And then we mix that together. Lid. Looking at me? No. Not dry. It's in the sink. Let's go with this dry lid because we don't want to have a damp lid there. And a measuring cup, please, if you will. This is what happens. I go away for the weekend and I can't find the things because they get put away somewhere that I don't know where they go. All right. So speed 5 for 15 seconds. Self-raising flour, done. So then I can fill up my self-raising flour jar to make cookies. How cool is that? It's too easy. Let me know if you knew that. It was easy to make it. Because I didn't know until I got a Thermomix that you could make your own. I don't know what I thought it was. I think I thought it was some secret society recipe. I don't know, but there we are. Right, I want to get it into the container, so I might use a spatula to help with that, rather than getting it all over the bench. So now I have another big batch of self-raising flour ready to make cookies. So, don't forget, if ever you come across a recipe and you think, oh, I haven't got this or I haven't got that, do a quick search up. Have a look what's out there. Perhaps there's an alternative. Don't be put off. Unless you're missing a lot of ingredients, then perhaps look for something else to make. Charlene, how are you? All right. Now, my bowl was definitely not dry enough. And I should have done the little thing that I teach you all to do, and that is to flick it first, because it was freshly washed. Flick the blades out to the side to dry the bowl. And I'm going to show you that trick now because I think it's an integral, really important thing to note. When you're doing anything with dry ingredients, after you have washed the bowl, talking about, you've washed a bowl, you're always going to make sure your pin's underneath the dry. Of course, they connect to motor, right? So you'll get inside and you'll dry and you'll dry and you'll think it's dry. But I guarantee you, you can hand dry it all you like. Unless it's sat and drained for a whole while, you're going to have some moisture in the bowl. So this is how you fix that. And it's very simple. And it's the same way we get all the ingredients that are stuck onto the blades out to the side, right? So you're going to put your lid on to your bowl and you're going to run it up to top speed for a couple of seconds. Stop it. And then any moisture, because the bowl is designed to go this way, will flick out to the side. Hello, Miss Dimity. Hope you notice there's something on my board. Your parcel arrived, my love. Thank you so much. So now, what I've got in there, and you may be able to see, is moisture out to the side. All right? So now I know I'm going to have a perfectly dry bowl. Yoo-hoo! Welcome to the club, Dimity. Finally! So exciting. So there's a little tip for you all. Even though you think your bowl is dry, if you need to do something like make self-raising flour like I have just done, give it a flick first to make sure if there's any moisture or anything in there, it's going to flick it out to the side. Okay, so you have a perfectly dry bowl. Let's make cookies. So we've started off, we've made some self-raising flour because my jar was empty. Self-raising flour is plain flour, baking powder, and salt. Simple as that. All right, so let's go to my created recipes again. Because silly me should have put cook today and I didn't. Only the best chocolate chip cookies ever. So I am going to make sure I have enough first before I say I'm going to double the recipe. I normally do double it. All right, how much flour? 260. No, I'll be pushing it. I'll do one lot today. So we start off by placing the butter, sugars and vanilla in the bowl. So we're going to bring up the scales. Your created recipes will look different on the screen, but the process is the same. We're just following along, weighing in ingredients, and it's great because you can access more recipes. You can upload your own recipes if you're that creative. For those that joined my live recently where I went to convert that Hasselback potato recipe, I actually went back to look at the comments on that TikTok viral video, and there was so many people that said the potatoes weren't cooked. So the recipe, don't believe all these recipes out there, they're not 100%. So definitely a lot of people were saying you need to pre-cook the potatoes. So if I ever did it again, I'd definitely pre-cook the potatoes. But you know what? I just do grape dough finola that way. Rachel, welcome. What's the difference between the 5 and the 6? Look, quite a few differences. The main one being that we have a higher heat function in the TM6. We have the ability to import recipes onto the screen. We can import recipes onto the screen from Recipe Community. We can do sugar work with the high heat. There's a lot more modes with the TM6. The scales go in 1 gram increments. There are comparison things on the Thermomix website. But please, guys, please remember whenever you are purchasing anything, grab a consultant's name and use it. Don't give Thermomix all the money when we're out here in the field doing all the work. Every consultant out there appreciates the support because at the end of the day, we're the ones promoting the product. So, yeah, there is a comparison table on Thermomix website. And I do have access which I could email to you. If you send me your email, I'm happy to do that. If you already have contact with a consultant, do reach out to them. But if you don't, then yeah, I'd love to look after you. Just get in touch. You can send me a message on the platform, or all my details are in my link tree on my pages. So there we go. If I had one to show you side by side, I would. But for me, it's like whenever I see a TM5 now, I look at the little screen, I go, oh, isn't it cute? You know, it's like anything. We've had an upgrade. It's like your phones. It just gets better and better. The speed of it is quicker, and it also is a little quieter, which is kind of nice as well. All right. So this is a community recipe that I've uploaded onto my TM6, and I'm just following it along on the screen. All right. We don't need those anymore. They can go there. That's the lid for that. We need our egg. This recipe. Don't forget, I can help anyone Australia-wide. I do a lot of support through my social media, sharing with you what I'm making, tips and tricks all the time. So we are called virtual consultants. We are allowed to look after people through the virtual space Australia-wide. So if you're close to me, I'm happy to come and meet you in person and do demos like that. But if you're not, then I can absolutely look after you in the virtual space, which is fantastic. I have customers all over the country. All right, TM running, we're going to add the egg. That's it. I should know this off by heart, I've made it so many times. And then a recent trip to Costco. I filmed some content. I did. Did you just realise I said, look what's on the board, Dimity. Look hard. No, why do you need to lower the sound? What are you doing that's noisy? My advice is if you're blitzing something and it's noisy, just leave the room for that time. Oh, I've got one. There's one on there. It's very small, but there's one on there. All good, my love. All good, all good. Yes, I got myself to Costco and got my Calibut chocolate chips to put in my chocolate chip cookies today because they are just divine. All right, so next we're going to add in our flour, salt, and then knead it. So, as I said at the start, if you're just jumping on now, my self-raising flour was nearly empty. So I just made a batch. The recipe is on Cookie Doo. It is so simple. So don't go, oh, I haven't got it, I can't make it. Do a search. Always do a search. You just never know. Even condensed milk. You can make condensed milk from scratch. And it's simple as. That's one of my videos that went a bit viral on TikTok and got quite a bit of hate. People saying, why would you make it? Just go and buy it. You know, why not make it if you can, hey? Why not make it if you can? Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Bo, that's probably your best bet is to use your noise cancelling headphones, darling. All right, half a teaspoon of salt. All right, so let's knead it for 30 seconds. No choc chips. I'm going to use Milo instead. Kelly, that sounds yum. I'd be down for that. Yes, Jade, when I had my very first demo, which was actually my training, Katie was probably just over 18 months, around 18 months old. She was asleep in the lounge room of the house I was living in at the time. And we did the fresh fruit sorbet, which is fresh fruit juice plus ice. And when she went to do the ice, I thought, oh no, the noise. She slept through the whole thing. So, yeah. Babies, hey? Who knew? All right. Now we're going to add in the chocolate chips, and I need them in. All right, so... and chocolate chips, I guess, are a recipe, an ingredient you add by heart. Is that right? I haven't put them on yet, darling. I've literally opened the package and have got no further with it. But I'll let you know. I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will just fine. Just maybe a couple more. Because, you know, it's chocolate. Did you have any chocolate, Kelly? Like a block of chocolate? Because you can always chop that up. That's for sure. Let's do the kneading again. Give it 30 seconds roughly. Let's rather machine mix it through than me have to do it. And I don't mind if it breaks those up a bit. They're quite a big little choc chip. So, next on the agenda is making some soup, because we've got to put that dough into the fridge. I cannot recommend enough to fridge or freeze your cookie dough, because when you go to cook it, it will stay in a lovely cookie shape rather than a big pancake. Okay? Alright, so that's dough done. Tip your bowl upside down, twist the bottom of the blades to help get everything out. There's a little bit stuck around the sides, so we'll just use the spatula to get that out. If there's any stuck on the blades, then stick your lid back on, whack it up to top speed, flick it out to the side, as I did at the start there, with the tip about having a perfectly dry bowl. So make sure, if you're doing anything with dry ingredients, that your bowl is dry by simply sticking it up to top speed. I need to flick that, and getting everything out to the side. All right. Okay, finish. Home. That's it. Just a quick whack to get the stuff out to the side. There we go. See that? Everything that was stuck underneath the blades now comes down to the sides of the bowl. So you're not dragging your silicone spatulas constantly around sharp blades. You get it all out from the sides, which is better for your spatulas. They'll last a lot longer. All right, let's do a pre-clean on this one. While I get my recipe for my soup up, put my cookie dough in the fridge to fridge that up. Get that nice and firm. Now, what you could also do at this point is roll that into a big cookie dough roll and freeze it. You know, there's so many things that you can do. Payment plans we have. Zip Money, 36 months interest-free currently with our offer that's on at the moment, which is a really great offer. We have had a price increase, okay? So to soften the blow of the price increase, what we've got on at the moment is you'll get the black or the white with the matching glider board, and I love these glider boards. They're amazing. They're also great for keeping your scales safe and stable, and you get a $140 Mix Shop voucher. So the $140 Mix Shop voucher, you can put towards a second bowl, you can put it towards some accessories, whatever you need. We have an online kitchen shop, the Mix Shop, which is full of fantastic things that I use, including things like these set of 3 baking bowls, the spoonulars. Oh look, you guys watch me often, you know there's loads of fantastic, great things on our online kitchen store, which is the Mix Shop. All right, so I'm just going to roll that into one big ball. And actually what I might do is, because I haven't got a lot of room in my fridge inside, and I can't be bothered going outside, is is I'm just going to grab my silicone mat and wrap it up in that. Alright, so you could get yourself a silicone mat. There's so many things. But it is a really good offer. It's on until the 10th of August. Then after that, I don't know what's on. But 36 months interest free, it works out to be about $18 per week to pay off your TM6. So, yeah. Alright, now let me just put this in the fridge so that sets up a bit harder, because it makes a better result when you cook your cookies if they're cold from the fridge. And we're going to use the little cookie scoop, of course.
Here's what I found.
Or even frozen. Siri, I wasn't talking to you. Alright, so chocolate chips I've used are from Calibut. Now, Costco. I finally did a trip to Costco. Finally. So long. Oh, they smell so good. Calibut are a very beautiful, crafted in Belgium, whole bean roasted, dark chocolate chips. The finest Belgian chocolate. Costco sell this sort only. Calibut make many different types. They even have the pink chocolate, the rose chocolate. Oh, how good would it be to make some chocolate chip cookies with the pink chocolate? I've got to do that one day. I have to get my hands on it. It's a good price at Costco, so I grabbed them the other day and I thought we'll have a treat. We'll make some really fancy cookies. Normally I use any chocolate chips, usually what's on sale. Hey, Sweet Cat, long time no see. So yeah, Calibut, Costco, if you're near one. My top things to buy from Costco are your vanilla bean paste, these, and your flours. They even had the beautiful Caputo Italian flour in a great big bag at a reasonable price. What I did notice was Costco here are now not selling the 12.5 kilo baker's flour. They are selling a 25 kilo for $21. That is a really good price point, considering you will buy a 5 kilo bag from the supermarket for anywhere between, if it's on special, anywhere between $11 to $15 for 5 kilos, to get 25 kilos for $21. So guys, if you are near a Costco and you know people who bake, go halves. Go halves. Get your big containers. Go in together and save yourself some money on your baker's flour, because that is an amazing price point. I still have the remnants of a 12.5 kilo bag that I bought from the Harbour Town fruit shop. When that's finished, I'll be back up to Costco to grab the 25 kilo bag, stick it in my freezer. I will say, if you live in Queensland, be careful with bugs. Don't go buying mounds and mounds of flowers that may end up attracting bugs unless you have a deep freezer to put them in. That's what I mean about going in with friends, divvying it up, and perhaps 5 kilos between 5 people. So what would that be? $21, $5. $5 for 5 kilos of flour. So less than half the price of what you're going to buy from the supermarket. Think about it. It's a really great way to save money. All right, so let's make some potato and leek soup. Now, don't think I'm weird. In fact, it should be still in that collection. Let's have a look. One of our demo recipes from when I first started, which was so popular, was the chicken velouté dinner. And you can also do it with salmon. Look, it's a nice recipe, but it's one of those, the whole complete recipe, it's one of those that I've seen and made so many times, that I just don't really enjoy it as a whole meal. But what I do love is the soup part of it, which is a potato and leek soup. And it is totally dairy-free. Did I put that on to clean? I don't know that I did. Anyway, let's leave it. I'll do it later. I'll put it over here later. We'll grab another bowl. So, chicken velouté meal, TM6 version I'm doing today. There is a TM5 version for anyone who has the 5. The component of this is my favourite potato and leek soup. It's so easy and, like I say, dairy-free. So if we look at the ingredients, obviously the whole of this recipe is actually making the soup, which then becomes the velouté, the sauce to put over the chicken and vegetables or the salmon and vegetables. But the soup on its own, for me, is so tasty. I love it. There are loads of potato and leek soup recipes out there, and if you have a favourite, fantastic, stick to it. But I quite love this one, and I love that it's dairy-free because it also means if I don't use it all up today, it's going to be absolutely fine to reheat it in a couple of days' time because there's no dairy in it. So let's make it. So the start of this recipe is prepping up the soup. And what the soup does then is it steams the chicken and veggies or the salmon and veggies, whatever you want to put up the top, all at the same time. So here is a great Varroa meal for you all. I encourage you to try it. If you haven't had it before, give it a go. Of course, it has that silly instruction of just one garlic clove, which never happens in my life because garlic is so good for you and healthy. That one's sprouted. We might leave him. I'm going to put 3, okay? And then we add some brown onion, but I've actually got an echalot, and I'm going to go with that. And I've got a little bit of zucchini that needs using up, so I'm going to throw that in as well because I'm not going to waste that. And I have no other purpose for it. So yes, 3 garlic cloves going in. Again, I always say these recipes are guided, they're not the law. And you measure these flavours with your heart. So, and please season well, taste your food, and don't ever say it was bland because if it was, then you haven't tasted it, you haven't seasoned it properly. You perhaps haven't used homemade stock paste as well. There is a difference. It is a punch of flavour for all your food. This is mine. Love it. Make it all the time. All right? And anyone that's followed me for a long time can say that that is absolutely the truth because that is what I do. I love, love, love stock and I use it in everything. Even recipes that don't ask for it, it might ask for a teaspoonful of salt. Put stock is a game changer. All right, hang on a minute. Did I miss the onion there? I feel like I've missed the onion. Oh, garlic. No. Where's the onion gone? Oh, of course, we're doing a TM6 version. Silly me. All right. So, garlic and oil. We're going to scrape that down. It's been a while since I've made this. So hence my silly going, what? The onion goes in and gets sizzled. So first step is cooking the garlic for a bit, 3 minutes, and then we're going to put the onion cut into wedges. All right, now I'm going to cheat a little bit because I'm going to put a bit of leek down the bottom and I'm going to put a bit of leek in the basket. Yes, Chris, nice. All right, so let's just organise some stuff here. And now, for all the people out there who've asked me about this cutting board, I hope you saw my story the other day because I've just ordered a 2-pack from Maya that was on sale. I think the sale is now finished, but it was like $35 for 2 of them. So I got 2 more because they're fantastic little handy chop to pot, they're called. Chop to pot. So yes, now the next step is sizzling the onion. And like I say, I'm going to put a little bit of leek in there as well. Using that high heat function. So this is the difference between the 5 and the 6. Flavour. Flavour. I actually did a delivery the other day of a new black to a lovely couple down at Tweed Heads. And the darling lady cannot eat onion. She cannot eat garlic. There's so many things she can't eat. And all my heart broke for her because these are flavour. It's your aromats, it's your flavour. So anyway, she's worked out some fantastic alternative ways of eating. And she can use some spices and the like. So, boy, yeah, I'd be sad to miss out on all those flavours, that's for sure. All right, so this bit of zucchini, I'm just going to cut these little yucky bits off. And then just chop that into chunks. That's going to go in with my potatoes. So once this garlic's done and I've popped the onions in, I'm then going to chop up some potatoes. These all go into the basket. Clothes is good too, yeah. All right. And then we want our splash guard, of course, to go on. So, on she goes. Done. Sizzle away, 4.5 minutes. Let's chop up some potatoes. So, the potatoes and the leek left over now, and this bit of zucchini, which I'm not going to waste, is going to go into this basket here. And the reason I know zucchini goes well with this is because when you do the velouté, you're peeling thin slices of carrot and zucchini and steaming it up the top. So what I was taught was don't ever waste any of those bits. Put them into the basket and just cook them up because it all gets blended in at the end into the soup and it's delicious. So I don't peel my potatoes either. The outer bit of this leek is probably a little sad, so I'm just going to take that outer layer off there. I've got 2 leeks sprouting over here in my containers, ready to go into the garden actually. They've started to, see how they start to regrow? So they're going in the garden. This is the leek that's come from those. So we want to make sure that everything fits into the basket nicely. You don't want to overstuff your basket. You should be able to shut the lid when it goes in there. And that is plenty. Plenty, plenty. There's one little tinier potato in here. I might just see if I can't chop things a bit smaller and sneak him in. Yep. Willow. Hey, shh, it's on like Donkey Kong, guys, because it's the middle of the day. And you know what? The bits of potato that don't fit in here, I'm just going to throw it into the bowl because we're going to add water and stock. And there'll be room down the bottom there. So, yep, that's that. Okay. Yum, yum, yum. And listen, it does specify a type of potato. I use just whatever potatoes I have at home and it works fine. All right. Excuse me a sec. Okay, so I love the smell. The high heat just gives you that smell of onion frying. So good. So, welcome everyone that's jumping on. Tell me, if you haven't already, what's your favourite soup? Because we're going to be having a yummy potato and leek soup today. If you haven't seen, you must go back and see the video from the lovely weekend that I had, or minestrone. Oh, that pasta fagioli, which is, I guess, like a minestrone. That's so good. Beautiful weekend at a French bread making cooking class at the Willowvale Cooking School. Oh my goodness. And I've come home with his homemade lemonade marmalade and rosella jam. If you have had rosella jam, you know it is amazing. What a magical weekend we had. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Cannot wait to go back and do another class. Bruno is a Michelin star chef, and it was so magic to watch someone so clever do what they do. All right, 500 grams of water. Oh, a little less. There we go. And then we want our stock paste. So again, if you don't make stock paste, we can't be friends because it's a must. You must make it. 1 tablespoon, I put a great big, maybe even a tiny bit more, because that is flavour. So mix that in. The yummy leeks and onion and garlic that are at the bottom. I'm going to sneak in this little extra bit of potato because it's not quite fitting in my basket. And then because I've made this so many times, I jump ahead. And the basket's inside, so the measuring cup goes on. Okay, so I've done all this bit. I'm not doing the varoma. 17 minutes of cooking, and that's going to give me some delicious soup. All right, for the sake of the recording, guys, I've shown you cooking so many times, so I'm going to say farewell and catch you again, maybe later tonight, making some dinner. Everyone, welcome to the madhouse. It's Rebecca here. Willow, come on, come here. Sorry, doors open to let air through. It's actually quite warm here on the Gold Coast. It really is. And I probably could take this shirt off, but I don't want to because I love it. Yeah, here we go. We're making dinner now. So gratin dauphinoise. I actually did forget to hit the start of the video, silly me. And all I've done so far is, with my gratin dauphinoise tonight, I'm going to have some sliced up leek. Now, look, my leeks have been in the fridge and some of these outer skins aren't slicing as pretty as they could. I'm just going to sacrifice that little bit because I've got all this lovely thinly sliced leek to go into the gratin dauphinoise tonight. Because inspired by my lunch today, I made potato and leek soup for lunch today, and my goodness me, it is so delicious. Go back and watch the video to see which recipe I use. It's so lovely. Yeah, it's the Willow show. Good old Willow. She's a crazy little puppy. Okay, so now we're going to do our potatoes. Now, I know most of you don't have one of these. When you get your hands on a cutter, when you do your potato bake, go with thick slices. You don't want thin. It's wafer thin. It's almost crisp thin, okay? Now, let me check how full I am because I'm just blindly going ahead there. Let's see. Oh no, we've got space for more. So, let me just move that around. Stick it back on because I've got a few more potatoes here that can go in. Would that fit? No, I have to cut him in half. I reckon 2 more and then we'll be full as. Alright, go thick again. Done. All right, potatoes are done. I love that. So easy. I'm hard phone. All right, perfect. Look at that. 1 full cutter of sliced potatoes, ready for the gratin dauphinoise. All right. And because it's veggies, that's just a rinse under the tap. Nice and easy to clean. I'm going to get this one started. I tell you, that's the other thing I didn't get was my cream. And the only other thing I need to prep up for this is garlic. My week. So let me know if you've made gratin dauphinoise before. It is amazing. It's a very fancy name for potato bake. Sounds good now? Thank you. Excellent. Thank you, thank you. Now, oh yeah, that would be hard dying. That would, you need to concentrate, look after people, I understand that. But replay, there's always replay. So I did go live today, so we've got a bonus one, 2 lives today. The first one was cookies and soup. And the replay is on Instagram now, but I will be uploading that and tonight's together onto YouTube. Hey Justin, chicken basil roasted red pepper spaghetti. That's so good, that one. We love that one. That's a yummy all-in-one. Oh, this garlic's seen better days. Yep, all of it's seen better days. All right. Let's let that go. I have plenty more. The last thing we want to do is make us sick from botulism. So, what are you having for dinner? Let me know. Justin's told me. Go, Justin. Yeah, I really like that one. I love an all-in-one cooking dish. Pasta night, nice and easy. Excuse though, this recipe I'm sure is one of those one garlic clove situations. Start cooking. I'm actually not going to preheat the oven right now, it's too hot. Oh, that's right, we're going to grate the cheese, duh. Alright, so it's not a very cheesy gratin dauphinoise tonight. I'm just going to whip up some, it does only ask for 30 grams of cheese. So I'm just going to add parmesan to the mix. Just use what you have. You don't need to buy Swiss cheese for this recipe, just saying. I'm sure it might be nice, but if you've got cheddar, if you've got parmesan, whatever you have, use it. Alright. So we're doing this part old school. Nice. Great sausages. It's not ready yet, it's resting. Missy?
I love my crust pizza.
Yeah, well, you have to wait.
Alright. Can I have a chocolate?
Alright.
Can I have a chocolate?
No! No, you cannot. You've already had today. You can have something healthy. Give me some cucumber and I'll cut you up some cucumber.
Okay.
And just saying, I am live.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks. Welcome to the madhouse. Yeah, exactly, Kelly. Just use Tasty. Tasty's fine. All right. So, now we're up to the garlic part. 1 garlic clove. It's got to be the biggest fantasy of the world. 1. Never. Not happening here. Not on my watch. Definitely no. So I'm putting 4. And they're not small. Because it's flavour. Yum. Now you can certainly too add some stock to this mix. But here is where I'm going to add the leek. Okay, so I've sliced up that leek all pretty with my cutter. And now I'm going to cut it up even finer. And the reason why is because I don't want my kids to think it's bits of onion and decide they don't want to eat it because they're fussy. You know, pick your battles, as I say. You calling me? And hear my child giggling, the other one. Alright. There's a towel there. Going free. No, I'm good, thanks. It must be the hot weather. Do you think it's the hot weather? Because it's quite warm. Alright, that's just obliterated that nicely now. So I'm just going to scrape that down. So all the garlic is all nice and chopped up. The leek is all chopped up. So there's no picking of anything out of my dish. All right, potatoes are going in. What is so funny? So that's just over a kilo. This recipe actually says for 1,200. I'll just go with that. I'm not going to bother slicing up another potato, or will I? Well, it's got to be used, hasn't it? So let's do it old school. Just take that little knobbly. We're going to add the cream. So it says pouring whipping cream. Anyone that knows me knows I use my pure cream always. It's my preference, but you use whatever you want to use yourselves. Everyone's got cranky kids today, do you? And it has been a really unseasonably warm day. I've had one come home claiming to not feel well, and yet she's the one that's very vocal in her bedroom chatting with her friends. Yeah, I think I've got... Use whatever stock you have. I'm using chicken. And again, that is it directly from the freezer. It does not go solid. Whatever you do, don't put it in ice cube trays because it will be a mess. Oh, Edwina, I want to swap. Pepper. Oh! Well, that right bag of a puppy dog. No nutmeg. What? Not do nutmeg. Childhood trauma. There we go, 10 minutes of that. So while that's doing that, I've made pizza dough in here. I'm going to use that bowl to add water because I'm going to steam some veggies. And if the bowl's a little dirty, it doesn't quite matter because it's just going to be cleaning it while it's cooking my veggies. So win-win. All right. Cut these little cobs in half. So do you use your aroma? Do you steam your vegetables? I mean, some nights, that's what the Thermomix gets used for, is doing all the side dishes, not just the whole meal, which it's totally made for as well. Oh, Charlene, I want to come to 8.5 degrees. It was 29 when I went to pick up my daughter from school today. Currently 21, it says on my watch. I don't believe it. Feels like 25 in my kitchen. Alright. Just stand those all up. There we go. Alright. Lid on. No. So I'll just stick it on for 20 minutes. Aroma. Big 2 should do it. And then what I'm going to do is just clean up these lovely little cute carrots, rainbow carrots that I picked up from Costco. And in fact, use your aroma to wash them. I'm just going to cook them all because I don't mind them raw, I don't mind them cooked, but they're ready to be used. So I'm going to give them a good wash. I mean, how gorgeous are they? I love things like that. It's a bit different. Bit fancy. Put that on top. With the lids. Don't worry about the tray. That's all going to cook all together. Just like that. Quiet. Woofs. Alright, look at this. This just yum. Delicious, delicious, delicious. Oh, it smells so good already. So that's a 10-minute cook in here, 20 minutes in the oven, and we're done. And you could put onion in there, you can put bacon in there if you have bacon. You can, you know, totally mix this up and make it whatever you like. Whatever you like. Obviously mine's going to have just Parmesan cheese on it because that's all the cheese that I have. Oh, maybe I need to go to Coles and just make sure that maybe our Coles has some. Yeah, absolutely, Dimity, you totally can add bacon to it. I won't tonight because we're having this with lamb chops. So, but there have been times where I have definitely done just that very thing. Alright, so a good bit of palmy on top. And into the oven she goes. Delicious. Alright, so everything's bubbling away. Thanks for joining. I will come back and reshare this later for you all to enjoy on replay. So I've added that, make it a bit more enjoyable. Lots of gaps there with the puppy dog, but here we go. Here's tonight's dinner. The gratin dauphinoise is amazing. Add bacon, add so many things, and get a shiny black on your bench before time runs out.